At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game is Saturday night. Jordan Love and the Packers take on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Not a Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game.
That's going to be caught for the touchdown.
NFC North rivals square off in the latest chapter of the NFL's oldest feud. The Packers and Bears in Prime's exclusive wildcard playoff game. Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Only on Prime. Sign up for a 30-day free trial today. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
This is Optimal Living Daily, 5 Steps to Letting Go of Expectations by Jennifer of simplyfiercely.com. And I'm Justin Malik, your narrator, reading to you from the best articles online every day of the year. So let's continue the tradition as we optimize your life. 5 Steps to Letting Go of Expectations by Jennifer of simplyfiercely.com. As a minimalist, I try hard to be intentional about what I include in my life, from my possessions to my relationships. But there's one thing I've always struggled to let go of: expectations. Picture this: you go to bed with a clear picture in your mind of how the next morning will play out. You'll wake up refreshed, have a nice cup of coffee, read or meditate, get to work early, have a productive morning. Sounds good, right? Yes. But then life happens. You sleep through your alarm, you're out of coffee, you miss the bus, and next thing you know, you're on the fast track to a bad day. I know we've all been there, and it's more than just a challenging morning. There's also the disappointment we feel when our reality doesn't match our expectations. I've struggled with this all my life, but it's at the front of my mind again because of the little one growing in my belly. I'm already realizing my body and my schedule are not my own anymore, and I know it won't be long until I really have to say goodbye to control and learn to roll with the punches. I'll be honest, there's going to be a learning curve. This is not a habit you unlearn overnight, but I'm getting there, slowly. If you struggle to let go of expectations as well, here are 5 steps that might help. Acknowledge the role of your expectations. First and foremost, my biggest challenge with letting go of expectations is often just owning up to the real problem. Instead of acknowledging that I'm disappointed, it's often easier to turn the blame elsewhere. For example, a few weeks ago, I was driving home from work and started thinking how nice it would be to have a date night with my hubby. Imagine going home, getting changed, and heading out for a nice dinner and some quality time together. But when I got home and checked my phone, I had a message from him letting me know that he was going to the pub for an after-work drink. Now, to be clear, he very rarely does this, and he's not a mind reader. There's no way he could have known I was dreaming of a date night. But my first instinct was to feel neglected and angry. Was he choosing his friends over me? Of course not. When I had a moment to calm down and think rationally, I realized my frustration had nothing to do with him and everything to do with my expectations. And when I acknowledged this, I felt my anger disappear, and it was easier to move on. Change your perspective. When things don't go as planned, it's natural to feel negative and to focus on what we're missing out on. I'm not having a productive morning. I'm not on my date night. I'm not, fill in expectation here. With this mindset, it's no surprise when we feel irritated or let down. But what if we choose to change our perspective? Sometimes it's as simple as the language we choose to use with ourselves. Instead of saying, I'm not, we could decide to say, I am, encouraging us to seek out gratitude and to look at our glass as half full. You might not be on a date night, but an empty house to yourself sounds like the perfect setting for a glass of wine and a good book, or your self-care ritual of choice. Define what you really want. Next time things don't go exactly as you hoped, try asking yourself what you're really trying to achieve. Once you identify it, you can adjust course and look for a different way to achieve the same result. Going back to the date night example again, what I really wanted was quality time with my husband. Going out on a date was simply one way to achieve this. By defining this, it was easy to see another alternative. I could simply talk to him and let him know I wanted his attention when he came home. Rethink how you set goals. One of the best ways to let go of expectations is to look at how you frame them in the first place. One thing I've realized is too often I'm setting myself for disappointment before I even begin. Consider these 2 goals. I'm going to write a blog post tonight, or I'm going to spend 2 hours writing tonight. The first goal sounds good, but let me be honest with you, my creativity isn't available on tap. Despite my best intentions, there are some nights when I write and write and write, but the words just don't flow. Inevitably, defining my goal by the end result will eventually lead to frustration. But the second goal is much more manageable. Of course, it's not guaranteed, life still happens, but by framing my expectations around the effort I'm going to put in instead of the results, I've got a better chance of accomplishing what I set out to achieve. Decide to choose your mood. This is one of my favorite sayings, one I turn to in all sorts of situations, but is particularly relevant here. We can never be in complete control of what happens to us. We can only control how we choose to respond to the situation. When things don't go as planned, we can choose to indulge in our disappointment, or we can choose to let go and move forward. Ultimately, the choice is up to us. You just listened to the post titled 5 Steps to Letting Go of Expectations by Jennifer of simplyfiercely.com. I'll be right back with my commentary.
Olivia Culpo here to tell you all about the launch of the new Abercrombie Spring Denim collection, made the way denim should feel. Their denim has always been a staple in my wardrobe and has a wide range of fits, styles, and washes. Every jean is available in both their classic fit and viral curve love. Shop in the app, online, and in stores.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
Thank you to Jennifer. Everyone's gone through this. We have an idea or expectation of how our next day is going to go, only to start later or have something else come up. It definitely happens to me. I'll plan to get that morning sun right away, but then I don't sleep well, or I see something quote unquote urgent in my email or a text message, and then the day feels almost ruined before it really even started. I like the example of the two goals, one saying she's going to write a blog post, and the other saying she's going to spend 2 hours writing. If I had started this podcast way back in 2015 saying that my goal was, 1 million listens, I think I would have been miserable or would have given up. But the goal, thankfully, was to spend the time to release one a day. Still not easy, but actually manageable for me. Focusing on the effort instead of the result definitely played a big part in keeping this podcast going. And of course, you being here has helped keep this podcast going, along with sharing the show with other people. That's a huge help. So thank you for that. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.